What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got ERROL, Spence, and Sebastian FUNDORA in the news with some what some might say is unfortunate news. I'm gonna go ahead and give you my opinion on that afterwards. But right now, you are looking at the verified Twitter account of Gustavo Olivieri. If y'all, I don't know that. I think that's the wrong way to say his name. But if y'all don't know, he is the president of the WBO organization, and he has retweeted a post from Mike Carpenter. And he stated the WBO will not sanction FUNDORA Spence due to the latter being inactive for 1 year and 5 months, a TKO in his last bout, not rated at 154, has never fought at 154. Ruling otherwise would be a disservice to the rest of the 154 rated contenders. All right, so for y'all that don't know, or if you now you know. The big news is that ERROL Spence and Sebastian FUNDORA will not be happening, and I perceive that is one of the main reasons why it won't be happening, because the WBO has pretty much basically you just heard it. They said they're not going to sanction it, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I really cannot blame them for that. Because everything they said is the truth, no pun intended. But as much as I love ERROL Spence, it's like the WBO has a rule, right? They have a rule where it's like, if you move up in weight and like, say for example, if you're the WBO champion at 147 pounds, if you move up in weight to 100, like if you move up in weight to 154 pounds and relinquish your WBO 147 pound title, then you're automatically warrant a shot at the title at 154. You jump everybody, you skip everybody, automatically, because you had that belt. But unfortunately for Spence, he did not win that fight. He never had the WBO at 147, and he did not win his fight against Terrence Crawford. And what they said, I really can't blame him. I'm gonna go ahead and get into the article, and I'm gonna give you more of my opinion of why I'm glad that I'm kind of glad that this fight is not happening. And it's not because I'm a Spence hater, because I'm a big Spence fan. But just stay tuned, all right? All right, so shout out to essentialsports.com. It says ERROL Spence Jr. might never compete again as Sebastian FUNDORA fights end in pain. It says finally, what most fans feared seems to have come to pass. A highly anticipated Sebastian FUNDORA versus ERROL Spence fight has been called off. Based on the information received from a reliable source, leading boxing journalist Mike Carpenter shared the disappointing news that the fight, originally scheduled for October last year and later postponed to March 29th, will no longer happen. Shortly after Carpenter Sport reports, WBO new chief Gustavo Olivieri, or whatever his last name is, issued a statement explaining the reason behind the organization's inability to sanction the FUNDORA Spence Jr. fight. The news followed a cryptic message from Spence Jr. in which he seemingly criticized the state of boxing, calling it so effed up. The former unified world champion had already fueled retirement rumors last year. Since the epic showdown with Terrence Crawford, Spence Jr. has largely been absent out of the ring. Though he triggered the rematch clause, the fight failed to materialize. What's funny, or not even funny, what's crazy, is I actually forgot that dude did have a rematch clause. But the thing about it, I forgot all about that until I just read that. But what the thing about it was, like, something like, if the fight isn't agreed upon within a year, then the rematch clause is there. I don't know. I forgot something like that, but I forgot all about that until they just brought that up. That's crazy. Damn, that's crazy. Following an eye surgery, Spence Jr. moved up a division last year. Well, technically he didn't. He said he was going to move up, but technically he didn't, because there's been no fights or whatnot. But and discussed a potential clash with FUNDORA began to circulate. The latest development will undoubtedly disappoint fans, many of whom were eager to see Spence return to the ring. The Ring magazine shared FUNDORA might now face a new opponent. WBO's second-ranked Charles Conwell is reportedly the lead candidate. Now, shout out to Charles Conwell, because I've always stated, bro, like, dude, he was like in the 2016 Olympics, if I'm not mistaken. I remember he actually, Charles Conwell actually fought my boy Zeke in the Olympic trial qualifiers I don't know if it was New Mexico or Las Vegas, but anyways, um, Charles Conwell is like, if for some reason I've always felt like dude has just been like just going under the radar, flying under the radar, especially since his fight with Patrick Daybert, may he rest in peace. But I just feel like Charles Conwell has like always just been under the radar. And I never knew, like, dang, like, why is dude career not ever taken off? Like, that was, to me, crazy to me. Like, he's never just been, like, you know, a top or just really talked about as much. So, shout out to Charles Conwell. It seems like dude will finally be getting what seems to be a long-awaited, you know, title opportunity. I mean, I think he turned pro in 2016, you know, it's 2025, or he might have turned pro 2017. But anyway, either eight, nine years in the game, man, he's, you know, it seems like this is, you know, finally his moment where he's going to, you know, show who he is. So I hope he does get the fight or whatnot. So, you know, I don't know. That was actually the whole interview. I mean, the whole article. Wow, I didn't expect it. I just went on a whole rant about Charles Conwell. But yeah, man, I really hope Charles Conwell does get that fight. But let's go ahead and talk about Errol Spence. Now, I'm gonna be all the way honest with you, man. I'm actually glad that they are not gonna sanction this, and it has, you know, if you don't listen to me, a lot of you keyboard warriors are gonna come on here and say, "Oh, you're hating on Spence." I'm not. That's not why. You know, I would love nothing more to see Spence become a 2-division world champion, but here I don't want to see it at the expense of him being permanently damaged. I don't. Here's the thing. It is so much that we don't know about Errol Spence, coming off of the type of fight or the type of beating that he took with Terrence Crawford. It's so much that we don't know with Spence that I'm not sure he should be fighting a fighter like Sebastian Fundora, who is going to come make the fight a rough, tough fight. Sebastian is not no fighter that's just gonna Sebastian is not looking to outbox nobody. Sebastian, even though he has the height advantage over everybody at 154, everybody at 160, he does not have he doesn't come in there with I'ma just, you know, outbox. He coming in to dog you. He's coming in there to hurt you. He's coming in there to inflict pain or whatnot, right? We don't know how much Errol Spence has left in him, and I feel like, obviously, I have no doubt in my mind that Errol Spence is the better boxer than Sebastian Fundora. But the Errol Spence in his prime, we don't know what effects Errol has lingering from that Terrence Crawford fight. That was, you know, and I'm not being funny when I say this, but that was a beating that Errol Spence took. You know, and you know, we don't know what the situation may be. It could have been because of the weight. It could have been, or just Terrence Crawford was just that much better than him. But bottom line is, Errol Spence, the type of beating that he took, dog, that's not, you don't just jump right into especially off of a almost, what it seems like it's been more than a year. No, it's been a year and 5 months, but coming off of a year plus layoff, you know, Errol has this, you just don't know what Errol Spence has left in him. And Errol Spence has this mentality of, like, you know, hey, he doesn't do tune-ups, he don't believe in tune-ups or whatnot. And, you know, that's all that is good, bro. That's fine and dandy, but it's like, bro, we don't know where you are, bro. You honestly, like, man, and it's sad to say, it's sad to see, man, because, like, I would have never thought that after that Terrence Crawford fight that would, like, you know, I wouldn't see Errol Spence for, you know, this amount of, like, you know, I wouldn't think that he would take this much time off. I did feel like, you know, granted, like, I did feel like, yeah, dude, after that fight, I knew, like, yeah, dude probably needs to take the rest of the year off and, you know, just come back in, like, March or something of 2024. But this man has still not returned to the ring. And then coming back off of that long, bro, like, that's just not good for your career. And it seems as though Errol Spence is soon marching down the path of one-time rival, no pun intended, but one-time rival Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, who was another fighter that was coming up in the game strong, I mean, hitting the scene running, had many people not really looking to fight him because he just was a force to be reckoned with, until all of a sudden, to me, for what it was after we saw him hurt for the first time in the Luis Collazo fight, though he won that fight by stoppage, it was like, bro, we start seeing less and less of Keith Thurman. It was just like the more Errol Spence got big, the less we start seeing of Keith Thurman, and it just didn't seem right. Like, Keith Thurman never was on the same page. He fought one time a year after that up until 2017, and then he was taking 2 years off from 2017. He didn't fight 2018, fought twice 2019, and didn't fight 2020, didn't fight 2021, came back February 2022 and hasn't fought since. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just the lingering effect. And with guys like Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, the sad part about it is they've lost so many of their youth years that if they come back and if they fight not even a formidable opponent, and if they look anything less than excellent, people are going to write them off and say they need to retire. Lord forbid they lose. It's a wrap. So, that's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?